Chimaev winning means more to the fucking sport than people understand as he's taking on Dricuss at the UFC 319. And I've talked about this fight a little bit before. I am actually going to make an actual prediction in this fight to how I see this fight going because boy oh boy am I excited for this. But in this video, I'm going to tell you why Khamzat winning is essential for the UFC. And I'm going to tell you if I think he's going to win. So I'll start off with the first point of why Khamzat winning, I should say, is essential for the UFC. Listen, if you've been following the sport and you look at the upcoming cards, you look at the card we have at the weekend, it's clear that the UFC is in a drought. It's clear that the UFC needs stars. It's clear the UFC is not what it once was. It's clear. Bro, it's clear, and we've all been saying it for months. The big MMA YouTubers have been saying it. You know, even like MMA On Point have made videos. Why doesn't the UFC feel the same anymore? And we've all been feeling it. I felt it. Like, compared to like maybe 3-4 years ago, like the cards were just so much better. The fight nights were unbelievable. The star value was there. The names, they had bad blood. They didn't fucking like each other. When's the last time we saw a proper rivalry? Apart from one that the UFC forced down our throat of just these guys have fought once or twice, or these guys are the best in the world. An actual rivalry. People like each other too much nowadays, bro. And I'm fucking sick of it. We need some bad blood in this shit. Honestly, we actually do. It's ridiculous, but if Khamzat wins, can you imagine the casual audience that is going to be brought in? This is a casual audience that only very few fighters have brought in and actually are able to bring in. Paddy Pimblett is the kind of first name I kind of thought of that's kind of touched into that level of audience. The last couple of years, I should really say. Excuse me. Apart from that, Tom Aspinall's up there, but I feel like Tom Aspinall's kind of like got a lot of hype because of the whole John Jones situation rather than just, you know, him actually fighting and him as a person. I feel like the fact that he's got so much clout and so much attention is because he's had this back and forth with John Jones, because John Jones is scared to fight him, because he would get fucking knocked out in the first round. That's why kind of people attach on to Tom Aspinall as like a fucking big name within the sport and like a casual audience. But Khamzat's one of the biggest names in the sport, period. But if Khamzat goes in and destroys Dricuss du Plessis, I know friends that haven't watched UFC in years that would be interested in it, purely based off that. Obviously, there'll never be another Conor McGregor, ever, ever, ever. Don't ever say Paddy Pimblett's the next McGregor. I always feel if you say this guy's the next McGregor, you're already setting him up for failure. You need to be the first you, not the next McGregor. And I'm not saying Paddy Pimblett is pushing himself to be the next McGregor. I genuinely do think that he's pushing himself to be the first Paddy Pimblett. But you have people like Ian Gary who's just trying to be McGregor so bad and it just does not work. I could honestly make a whole video ranting about Ian Gary, but I won't. Actually, I will one day because nobody really likes Ian Gary. He's a bit of a fucking dweeb. I do like him, but I don't like him. Do you know what I like him. I like him inside the cage, and I want him to win because he's entertaining in ways. But he's so squeaky and fucking annoying, to be honest with you. But Khamzat winning brings in a totally different level of casual audience that we just don't see anymore. We don't see it anymore, bro. The dying breed of Adesanya when he was in his prime, my mic keeps falling. The dying breed of Adesanya in his prime, the dying breed of John Jones. These kind of fighters, GSP, Brock Lesnar, are completely out of it. They're gone, man. They're gone. And they're not bringing in a casual audience anymore. But Khamzat is. And Khamzat brings in that kind of, you know, level of excitement to where he's going to smash this guy in the first fucking round. And that's the expectancy. We expect Khamzat to get people out there in the first round. I did not expect him to get Wicker out in the first round, I won't lie. But we seen like Kevin Holland, we all knew that was going to be done in like 30 seconds. I picked that to be done in 30 seconds or some shit like that. I picked it first round by far. Like, we expect Khamzat to go in there and do incredible things because we hold him so highly. And that's how you become a star. Genuinely, I think that's how you become a star. And I feel like Khamzat Chimaev gets the belt. I think we just bring in a total new level of casual audience. But B, it makes it way more exciting having Khamzat with the belt. Now, Dean Thomas had a lot to say. Listen, I don't mind Dean Thomas. He seems like a bit of a, harmless Egypt. Like, do you know what I mean? He seems fair enough. I like him. I wouldn't say I like him. I wouldn't say I dislike him. I don't really care about Dean Thomas. He does kind of like the fucking, thing in between rounds of just kind of saying, oh, what's going on in the fight, but we can clearly see what's going on. We're all watching it. Do you know what I mean? Saying Leon Edwards is deterred against Usman in the first fight. Thank God you said that because nobody had a fucking idea that he was deterred in the first fight. Thank you, bro. But Dean Thomas said Khamzat becoming champion is terrible because he's never going to fight. I don't know about that, bro. I don't know about that. like, it is a bit shit that Hamza has been out of the cage a year. We don't really know why. I see these kind of rumors of, oh, Hamzat's sick and Hamzat's, struggling with this and that and the fourth. You can't really put any credibility into them. You cannot put any credibility into them. I think it was Barrero who said that, or some fighting nerd said that. So you obviously they know a lot more than me, but I wonder how much do they really know? Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I wouldn't put any kind of eggs in that basket of people are speculating Hamzat's injured or struggling with the weight or stuff like. He's definitely not struggling with the weight, but I wouldn't believe any of that. But back to my original point, Dean Thomas said it's terrible if he gets the belt. I disagree, man. I disagree. If you look at the landscape of the sport the last year, we had us as fans had to suffer through a Marab Bilal era with no heavyweight champion and Magomed Ankalaev. Us as fans had to suffer through that, and I broke down cards, bro. I had fucking no interest in. To get to points like this where we have Tom versus Gan, we have JDM versus Makachev, we have Ilya versus Arman, hopefully. Okay, I made another TikTok on that because I could make another video on it, bro, but I won't go there. I actually probably will make a video why Arman Sarukian is the number one contender. I actually will make a video on that, maybe tomorrow, actually. Now we have Ilya versus Arman. We have potential, Marab versus Corey. Pantoja could be moving up. We have exciting matchups now. We have exciting championship matchups, which is all we want. We need better fight nights and we need better cards. We need more stacked pay-per-views and we need better quality fight nights. Get the fuck out of the fucking Apex and get in arenas. Now, it's been like 2 months since we've been at the Apex, so you have to give a UFC a bit of credit with that. It has been arena events, but putting Derek Lewis in the main event and lobbing him in arena is not good enough. I'm sorry, that main event was trash. I love Derek Lewis. I love that he got the win, but come on, we need better main events, bro. We need better main events. Okay, I saw Umar Nurmagomedov versus Mario Batista. That's a great fight. You lob that in the main event or co-main event of a fight night. Main card opening for pay-per-view. We could easily see that on the Abu Dhabi card. Tom versus Gang, because it badly needs a name like Umar Nurmagomedov. Do you know what I mean? And it looks like we're going to get Jack Della Maddalena versus Islam Makhachev in November. And let's say they book Arman Sarukian versus Ilya in December. You're looking at a great end of the year. Great end of the year. Tom Gan, Islam versus JDM, and Ilya versus Arman. Great end of the year. And then you throw in the fucking Pantoja versus, maybe, I don't even know who you give Pantoja at this stage. Joshua Vanna, obviously Joshua Vanna, don't know why. I forgot Joshua Vanna there for a second. Obviously, and then you could throw in Joshua Vanna, the co-main event of either of those cards. Any of those cards, honestly. Probably won't do it in October. Definitely won't do it in October. But you could throw Joshua Van in there. Do you know what I mean? And I'm bringing all this up because Khamzat with the belt just adds to that. It adds to those matchups. We're past the boring championship phase. Okay? Is the UFC back? It is. It is back. It is back. And I'm fucking so happy to say that the UFC is back because, bro, if it wasn't for my dying passion and dying love of this sport, I suffered through the worst era of UFC that there has ever been. And you would never tell me that the last year has not been the worst the UFC has ever been in the company's company's history. We had no heavyweight champion. Okay, we had the most boring champion of all time, Bilal Muhammad. Marab was just fucking annoying. Everyone loves Marab now. I respect Marab because he's being active. That's the level of champion that I talk about all the time. And then we had Ankalaev beating Pereira. It was tragic, man. And we had Strickland versus Dricuss as well, which no one gave a single fuck about. It was tragic. Pantoja was too good for the division. Ilya vacated as well there for a while. Like, it was scary shit. I was like, oh my God, this is absolutely terrible. But we suffered through that as UFC fans. Us as UFC fans got through that, and now we are at the good stage. We're getting the good ending, hopefully. If we can get Makhachev versus JDM, Joshua Van versus Pantoja co-main event, and Ilya Topuria versus Arman Sarukian, we have the good ending. We have the good ending, and I'd be so fucking happy to see all of those fights announced. Back to the Khamzat versus Dricuss fight. I completely went off topic there a bit, but it needed to be said. How I see this fight going. Listen, I feel like we are all in the same boat here. Of the first 5 minutes is going to determine how the fight goes. The fight's either going to be over or the fight's only going to be starting, and that's kind of how I see it. Now, I see a lot of people saying they trust Khamzat's conditioning is going to be a lot better. I see a lot of people saying online, Khamzat's conditioning is going to be way better. He's in the garage. We all know what I'm on about. If you don't know, you're not a real MMA fan. That's a fact. If you know the garage, you know the garage. I'm not betting or saying Khamzat's going to be in better condition because he's in the garage. I need to see it in the cage. Okay, the garage is a good place to go. I will say that the garage is a good place to go. But apart from that, I haven't got anything to sit there and say Hamzat is going to come in better condition. He's going to pace himself. He's going to have better. I haven't seen it, and until I see it in the cage, which is he's shown me he gasses out. Look at the Usman fight. I'm not believing shit, man. I'm not believing shit. And I'm not gonna fucking, buy into this hype of, I feel like, Hamzat's gonna come in here better conditioned. He's gonna be able to go more than one round. He's gonna have that zap at the end of his punches come the second and third. You have no proof to say that. I have proof to say that won't happen if you look at his previous fights. You have fucking no proof apart from him training in a garage that he's gonna be in better condition. It's just a fact. Okay, maybe he will come in better condition. Maybe he will come in with a gas tank that we've never seen before. I'm not saying he's not going to. You don't have proof. I do. And that is a fact. Maybe you are right. Maybe I am wrong. Maybe I am right. Maybe you are wrong. But what we based on now, how many days was Hamzat training in that garage? Can someone answer me that question? Was that just a 1 day thing? Was that just how many days was he there? How do you know? We know it's Dricuss. We know Dricuss doesn't gas out. We know he's so awkward. We know Hamzat is clearly more skillful. But Dricuss just wins, man. And I'm actually picking Dricuss du Plessis to beat Khamzat Chimaev. I never in a million years thought I would say that sentence, but we're here now and life throws curveballs at you. But I'm never not betting on Dricuss again. He's so wank. He's so shit, but I'm never not betting on him again. I'm never betting against Dricuss du Plessis again. I've made that mistake how many times in my career of fucking on this channel. I picked Izzy to beat him. I picked Whitaker to beat him. I didn't pick Derek Brunson to beat him. I picked Darren Till to beat him. Fucking idiot, Darren Till. Don't even get me started on you. Holy shit, I will make a video about you one day because that breaks my heart every time watching that fight. That was up there with Holloway Topuria level heartbreak for me, to be honest with you. But Dricuss is way, way too awkward for so many fighters. What I mean by the fight's over in the first or just starts. Khamzat's going to go in there and submit him in the first and maybe ground and pound him in the first round, or Dricuss is going to land on him in the second and third and fourth and finish him in the fourth round, fifth round. I genuinely believe that. I genuinely believe Dricuss du Plessis is going to finish Khamzat Chimaev. I just said it. I can't believe I've just said it, but I'm never not betting on him again, bro. I know what I have with Dricuss. I know he's awkward. I know he's durable. I know he knows how to win. I know he's got good gas tank. But on the other side, I know Khamzat Chimaev can easily get this done in the first round. Easily. This will be the most nerve-wracking first round I think I've ever watched in my career. Because if Khamzat goes in there and just picks him up and slams him and just submits him, which very, very fucking well might happen, there's a good chance that can happen. I can see it. I can see it so clearly. But I'm not betting against Dricuss du Plessis. I'm not doing it anymore, bro. I refuse. And I'm sick and tired of betting against Dricuss. As much as I want Khamzat to win, there's something about Dricuss du Plessis that he just doesn't lose. And now, in fairness, he has not fought someone as skillful as Khamzat. It's true. You look at the Derek Brunson fight, that was absolutely terrible. This, two nostril Dricuss mythical fighters, unbelievable. But he's not fought someone to the level of Khamzat Chimaev. Fact. Someone with skill, someone with pressure, someone that's going to go in there and dunk him on his head. But I'm picking Dricuss, man. I'm picking Dricuss. Like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.